pleasure to introduce a gentleman from my home state, David McCubbin, who is the president of McCubbin Hosiery in Oklahoma City. He's been president of that company since 1982, but it is a family-owned business. It's been a business for 57 years, so that's a long time. They design, market, and distribute children and ladies' hosiery, and their products are sold in a number of national and regional retail outlets, including Nordstrom's, Dillard's, Stride Rite, Kmart, Payless Shoe Stores, and many other small independent retailers. And Mr. McCubbin started emailing me as a fellow parent. Both of our children go to school together, and said, "Mary, you got to help me on this. This is really hurting my business, and I'm scared to death about the laws that have been passed here in Congress, and help us out." And so we were able to do something, David. It's fun when you can complain to your congressman, and we can actually have you up here and hear from you and try to resolve the issues. So thank you all for coming, and David, we're pleased to have you here.
I want to thank you for inviting me to address this committee. The Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act of 2008, well-intentioned to enhance the level of safety in the products Americans purchase for our children, has had massive consequences. The legislation's broad scope has impacted thousands of products for which the measured concerns are not material. Your willingness to review the implications for small businesses in particular is very much appreciated. I was specifically asked to comment regarding the impact of the law on our business to date, the implications we anticipate in the upcoming year, and recommendations I would have regarding the CPSIA. Thus far, we have been most impacted by the lead content testing requirements. Initially, we were told by industry experts, both in the U.S. and internationally, that there was no reliable lead content test for textiles, engineering a scramble to execute any test that would work or be considered reliable. Reputable testing labs throughout the U.S. and Asia differed on their interpretations of what should be tested. Consequently, we tested all yarns in every sock at considerable expense. The sudden overwhelming demand in the testing labs resulted in delayed shipments, increased transportation costs, and strained relations with customers and suppliers. Implications for the upcoming year, staying on Section 101, which is the lead content limits. This section classifies children's products containing more than the allowable limit of lead as banned hazardous substances. This is a worthy and reasonable proposition. However, it has been laid upon the apparel industry in such blanket fashion without regard to any historical evidence or suggested likelihood that harmful amounts of lead are found in the products. In short, we are asked to search at a considerable expense for something that does not exist, nor has been alleged to exist. We anticipate this redundant testing will cost in excess of $500,000 to our company in the first 12 months. Section 102, General Conformity Certification, also known as GCCs. This section of the law has been interpreted to mandate that every time we make a shipment, each article contained therein must be accompanied by a GCC identifying each rule, ban, standard, or regulation applicable to the product and certifying each product complies with all regulations, ensuring accuracy and availability of a GCC for every incoming order from our factories, and matching that information to a GCC for every item on every order shipped to our customers will result in the creation of tens of thousands of certificates annually. This is a daunting prospect for any small business. Section 103 on tracking labels. The apparent intent of this section provides for the identification of the specific manufacturing facility for every given item and to maintain transparency through to the end consumer. While this goal appears innocuous, we believe actually it will be harmful for our business. Most hosiery is exempt from the care labeling rules enforced by the Federal Trade Commission due to utility or appearance being substantially impaired by a permanently attached label. My recommendations are as follows. Regarding Section 101 on the lead contents, I believe based on the evidence, a move should be made to exclude textile products from lead testing requirements. At the CPSC's public hearing in January, credible and overwhelming evidence was presented demonstrating statistically negligible levels of lead existed in textiles. Our industry has done its due diligence on lead in textiles. The only possible outcome is higher cost to the consumer. We can't make the product any safer. Section 102 on the GCCs, allowing this document to be prepared on an annual basis for each style is a company's offering would vastly simplify compliance with the law. Regarding Section 103 on the tracking labels, the CPSC should follow the precedents established by the FTC with regard to consumer labeling laws. We move that all hosiery items be excluded from tracking label requirements. Socks are a low-risk item. The country of origin and the company's RN number are already on the packaging of item. There's no need for any additional information. Small businesses applaud the efforts of the United States Congress to ensure the safety of all citizens. In this instance of the CPSIA, however, unclear and belated interpretation is causing unintended punitive consequences for our business and thousands like us. Children's products existing in commerce for years should be judged based on the history of the consumer safety. Where there is no history of problems, common sense exclusions from the regulations should apply. Your willingness to review the implications for small businesses in particular is very much appreciated. My comments today are very consistent with the sentiments expressed last week by the distinguished chairwoman of the House Small Business Committee, the Honorable Representative Nydia Velasquez. All too often, federal agencies overlook the unintended impact their regulations have on small businesses, she said. To create an environment that fosters entrepreneurship, the regulatory system must be responsive to small business needs. I hope you agree my testimony underscores her message. Thank you.